What's up, guys? It's your boy Kazaris back with a deck profile that I took to the Philly Regional and got 12th. I played Punk Agents. This is definitely an improvement from my last two builds. Punk cards are just crazy. Chaotic Ruler is absolutely insane. It's level 8 that gets you to your starters. And overall, I'm happy with my performance. I'll talk about my wins and losses at the end. So let's just jump right into it. We have 3 Agent of Mystery Earth. These are your starters. You have 3 Diviner of the Herald, 3 the Sacred Waters in the Sky, 3 Pot of Prosperity, and then of course the 2 pseudo bricks that go with, well, this is definitely a brick. This card's absolutely crazy. Like when I drew it with Diviner, it was just nuts. Trias and Hanawata to go with Diviner. E-Tele is also a starter, pseudo starter, but I'll get into that in a second. We have, for extenders, 2 Agent of Life Neptune. I did like 2. One of my only losses today was I opened Earth, both Neptunes, so I couldn't search with Earth, Gamma, and Driver. That was just extremely unfortunate. This was like any other playable card, maybe I could have done something. 1 Master, 1 Majesty. I like this ratio a lot. 2 Logith. I cut Iados just because I needed room for the Punk engine. This card's still great going second and stuff. And with the Zeamin and whatnot, you can synchro with this easily. And then Instant Fusion and Moss Reborn. Instant Fusion was good. I used it twice in conjunction with Psychic and Punisher. It's a way to get your life points lower, which is nice. And Moss Reborn taking a level 8 from the graveyard is crazy, or just like bringing back one of your level 10s late game is absurd. I did that once. Brought back Barone, I think it was, and then I took like, I think I took a Despia Fusion. I forget exactly what I did, but I took a level 8 or something. And that did well. Reborn just to bring back your own level 8s as well. So I like these extenders a lot. I wouldn't change anything about those. The 1 trap. I cut this down to 1 just to make room for the Punk engine. I milled it once off of Chaos Ruler, which is unfortunate. But like the board that you end on is just so solid that it just doesn't. It's just, the trap is just icing on the cake. So into the Punk stuff. So we have 2 Zeamin, 1 Deer Note, 1 Foxy Tune, 3 E-Tele. So E-Tele is absolutely absurd. It's just another extender in the deck. It's a way to get to your starters without a normal summon. So you'll go E-Tele into Zeamin. You should know the Punk stuff by now. Zeamin, add Foxy, discard itself and another card, summon Deer Note. Synchro with these 2 for Chaos Ruler. Chainlink 1 Chaos, Chainlink 2 Deer Note, target Zeamin. Bring it back. This is a way to get to Hawk to get to another level 2, or to get to Psychic and Punisher, which is cool. And then you'll just mill 5, and then if you mill Diviner or Earth, that's just your starter right there. If you had to use your normal summon on Zeamin, you can do stuff like mill Earth with Neptune, and maybe like have Majesty or mill Majesty. I did that once. I milled Earth, Neptune, Majesty, added Neptune back, special Earth, banish Neptune, summon Majesty, and made a level 10 that way, so that was pretty cool. But overall, these cards are just absolutely absurd. Definitely the best addition I had to the deck, hands down. They just increased the ceiling of the deck so much, let me play through so much more. I played through 1 or 2 hand traps consistently, and just like ended on a very, very solid board. The 1 call by, and then for the hand traps, I had 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Gamma, and 1 Driver, obviously. The Gamma was okay all day. I have like the 3 E-Tele, the 3 Prosperity, and the 3 Ash, or the 3 Sacred Waters in the Sky. So when people didn't know what the deck when people don't know what the deck does, I expect them to Ash suboptimally. If they ashed any of my spells and I had Gamma, I could just punish them for it. But it was just okay all day. If they had something, it was when I would commit a monster to a field. So in hindsight, I did miss the Sanctuary in the Sky as a free search as well. So in hindsight, I would probably just cut this for 3 Veilers and the Sanctuary in the Sky, because like trading 1 brick for another, so keep the same consistency that way, and then you still keep 3 more hand traps. So the deck was 41. I definitely make that change, cut the Gamma. I have a Mega in the side deck, or in the extra deck as well, so I'd probably cut that too. But moving on to the extra deck, we have the 1 Almirage, the 1 Hawk, the 1 Protector, and Dark. I didn't make either of these all day. I only played 1 Despia. I almost made this, but I think I was losing anyway, so I think I just scooped. And then like I banished these off Prosperity almost every game, because like Chaos Ruler would mill Majesty, or like I'd have it and like would mill Earth, and I'd be able to search Majesty with the search spell. So like I didn't really need this all day. And then 1 Parshath. I cut this back down to 1 just to make room for the Punk stuff in the extra deck. I didn't miss the second one at all. You just send this to copy with the level 10 and search the trap, or if you already have the trap, you can search the search spell or any monster or any card with the Sanctuary in the Sky. So links were all very good. This is like, I think of this as like a cooler Sword Soul deck. Like you just synchro a bunch and you make a bunch of level 10s. How targets, you have Formula and Pluto. I summoned this like once. Formula I summoned it like almost every match. You draw a card, you leave an 8 on the field to synchro with, and you make a P.U.N.K or Cheng or something. Just something crazy on their turn if they interrupted you. Chaos Ruler, you make this off the Punk shit. I guess I'll put Omega here with them too, the level 8. I never made this. This was just a high roll. If they gammed me, I could just make this off of Ash if I already had like Punk shit. I don't know. It's just, I never made this. I also banished this off Prosperity every time. So that could be something else. I'm not sure what yet. I'm gonna have to dig into the tank to figure it out. Level 10 and 11, I guess, Honorary 10. Hyperion, Baron, Cheng, I made these every match. Psychic and Punisher I made sometimes. I think it won me a 1 game, and then I made, I don't know. It's like, it's what you make if you like get weird hands with like Zayam and like Chaos Ruler, or like they like imperm the Chaos Ruler, you have no other starter. You're like, okay, well I can at least make Psychic and Punisher and try and live and get to a starter because I can't affect him with stuff with activated effects. I had a weird interaction against Machina Ruin Force. So at the start of the battle phase, this will activate to boost his attack. But also Machina Ruin Force will pay half to negate an activated effect in the battle phase, and then half my life. So it was weird. So it was like he would pay a half, which meant I was at 74. I was at 64. He was at 8,000. So he would pay half to go to 4K, be less than me, be able to negate this, and then half my life. So to put me lower than him, would put me down to 32. It was so weird. But that's actually kind of a relevant interaction with Machina Ruin Force, because I played 2 Punk Nereon and then 1 of like every other meta deck. It was kind of weird. But those cards were crazy, would not change anything there. And then Alvain and Dragus Depelia. Super polyed once against Despia around 1 game 3 for game, but I was probably winning anyway. And then I summoned this twice off of Instant Fusion. It was a solid extender, but I banished it a lot off of Prosperity. I think I'd definitely keep both of them still. And then side deck, we had Alpha. I didn't draw it all day, but I sided it in a couple times. Still not, I don't know, I had 14 cards that I was sure about, and then 15 I wasn't. 3 Mystic Mine, Change of Heart, Mind Control. I sided these 6 in a lot. Mine won me a ton of games. Change of Heart, targeted Mirror Jade, forces it out, or against Drytron, I took a Vanity's Ruler, and now I have a level 8 fairy I can synchro with, and he can't special summon. So it's kind of wild. Change of Hearted, Mirror Jade forced it out, and then I Mind Controlled a Vanity's Ruler. So that was crazy. I put them in against Tri Brigade too to take the Napaloosa, but I just beat them some other way. I didn't get to see these. Mine was crazy. Like I would just activate mine, and then just like sculpt my hand, or just like against Punk the Iron player, he milled Cyclone, and I just took the gamble that was his only out. He milled it off Chaos Ruler, and I won that way. So unfortunate, but that's the reality of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame at the moment. 3 Super Poly, sided them in once against Despia. It got there in the end, I guess, so that's kind of cool. I expect a lot more Despia, honestly, but I probably still keep these in for sure. And then Feather Duster, 3 evenly. This is back row removal and whatnot. I was thinking about Lightning Storm. I might want to test that, maybe cut the alpha, and I don't know what else, because Deep Barrier was crazy. Like even against Synchro decks, like they have to like push through my board, and then I just Debarrier them after I've used all my interactions, or they try to stop me, or like they Dark Roller me. Then I just flip Debarrier, call Synchro, and it just locks up the game. It's definitely still good. Really better against Despia, but still really good against Sword Soul and stuff. I also put it in against Machina to stop Xyz, so they couldn't make like River Stormer and Gearkey and whatnot. So that was good. And that was a side deck. So overall, my report was I played against Despia round 1. I beat him, won the die roll, lost game 1, and then back to him. Then I played against Drytron round 2. I 2-0'd him. He had like Gamma, Tribute, Ben 10, and then I asked the Ben 10 because I could tell his hand was weak, and he passed. I killed him, and then game 2, he made Vanity's Ruler, Mirage Light. I activate mine, he negates, I activate Mind Control, take Vanity's Ruler, and that was that. And then I had like 3 other, I had like Rhoda Earth level 8 or something. It was kind of nuts. And then round 3, I played Sword Soul. I beat him. He beat me game 1, and then game 2 and 3, I back 2'd him. I forget exactly how. I won the die roll and then lost game 1. That was a weird trend today. And then round 4, I beat a P.U.N.K Therion player. Trius got there. He had like, so I had Called By, Diviner, and Logith against his Barone, Snow, Hulk Dagda into like Wonder Magician Pop Scythe. And Trius was so crazy because people don't realize that if I tribute 2 or 3, I'll summon and resolve the effects all at once, all in the same chain. So I went Diviner, Chainlink 1, Logith, Chainlink 2, he let it resolve. And then I go Diviner, send Trius, and I go Logith, target Diviner and Barone. He negates, and then I chain Trius, he lets it resolve, and I summon and pop Hulk, and then he can't do this Scythe shit. And then I trigger Diviner, summon level 1, make the Barone pop his Barone, and then it was just like lights out from there, because Trius, like Logith being able to make Trius pop 2 was kind of crazy. And then round 5, I got sacked by Flunder. That was my first loss, but I lost to the winner of the event, so that's cool. He went undefeated until the last round and still ended up first, which is cool. I think he got paired down. Only undefeated until the last round. I won the die roll. He shifted me. I lost. Game 2, I made full board. It was Master Flare, Barone, Chaos Ruler, Hulk into Formula, into Cheng Ying with Chaos Ruler with the trap card. So that was crazy. And then game 3, I gammed his normal summon. He passed, and then I go Diviner, and he Book of Moons my Hanawata, and I have no extension. And then on his turn, he makes board with Harpy's Featherstorm, and I lose to D-Shifter game 1, Harpy's Featherstorm game 2, or game 3. So that was unfortunate. Round 6, I played the Mirror, which sucked. I had to knock out a fellow brother-in-arms. He's playing like a 50-card Venus version. I don't know. I mean, I 2-0'd him. I don't want to say my build's better. He was playing a different build. His was cool. He made like Hulk Diviner, set Droplet, and then on my turn, I made Barone. He Nibiru'd, I negated. He chained Droplet, send Formula Synchron, and then tributed Diviner, summoned. So he got like triggered his own Diviner off Nibiru. So that was cool. But I 2-0'd him. Round 7, I played Machina, beat that 2-1, game 3. He chaliced on my Diviner, and I had milled Trius earlier, I believe. So then I just tributed Diviner for Trius and dodged the Chalice. Kind of nuts. And then round 8, I lost again to the 4th place person. He was playing Therion P.U.N.K. Game 1, that's when I opened Earth, double Neptune, Driver Gamma. Like, Gamma was so lackluster. I had no way to bait any hand trap without committing a monster. That was just really bad. Game 2, I made full board, and then game 3, he opened double anti-spell, Galaxy Cyclone, Nibiru, Gamma. He sets 3. My turn, he said he was tilted, so I forgot to flip anti-spell immediately, so I got the Prosperity, I had Diviner. Get to Barone pop anti-spell. He chains the other anti-spell, I let it resolve. I'm like, all right, I'm pretty far in at this point. I'd rather just negate a hand trap or something. And then I get to like Hulk with another level 8. And then I have mine and the Rhoda in hand that I hadn't used yet. And I proceed to enter battle, and he Nibiru's, I chain Barone, he chains Gamma, and then now I had let the anti-spell resolve, so now I had to set my bind, set my Rhoda, and he flips Galaxy, pops Rhoda, draws the Therion field spell that he sets. My turn, I activate mine. His turn, he banishes Galaxy Cyclone, pops mine, activates Therion field spell, and just goes. It was so unfortunate. Like, Galaxy Cyclone won on the game there because it was just a 2-for-1. He just got so much advantage off of it, and his brick was just like extremely specific enough to answer mine. So that sucked. And then round 8, that was round 8. Round 9, I beat Tri-Brigade Branded. In game 3, it was pretty close back and forth, but He had Dark Rolled me game 2, and I just had Call By on his kit, and that was like his only play. And then I just still had my full board of 3 level 10 synchros and whatnot. But overall, the deck did extremely well. It felt way stronger than last time. Like, I was winning last time, but it just felt like barely. This one just felt like I just felt more in command of the duels more often, just because the punk cards are so crazy. I just felt like I wasn't as fragile or as frail as before. I wasn't folding to one hand trap. Like I did fold to one hand trap once. He ashed my diviner and I set imperm, and thankfully that imperm stopped me from dying, and then I normal diviner again and full comboed. So that was against the Machina player. But yeah, overall the deck did very well. Glad I got 12th. I went 7-2 overall, which is the same record as last time, but I placed way better because I lost to the better players. And my losses were just so unreal. I just feel like the deck could have definitely taken an 8-0 or 8-1 or 9-0 had I not gotten, I don't know. Just Flunders has so many instant win buttons, it's so crazy. Just D-Shifter, Featherstorm, and then I lost to a brick and, I don't know, some unreal circumstances. But let's do a little combo real quick. I'll show it off. So just teleport and like a discard. That's pretty good. So I'm gonna go teleport. Is nuts. Show off the punk stuff. I showed that a second earlier, but pay 6. I'm gonna add Foxy Tune. Not that, it's not Foxy Tune. I'm gonna add Foxy, and Foxy is gonna discard itself in the unknown or the random. Summon Deer Note, make Chaos Ruler. Summon back Zay Amin with Deer Note, wherever it is, there it is. And then we're gonna mill 5 with the Chaos Ruler, Chaotic Ruler. And then here we hope to hit Diviner or Earth or like Hyperion or something. So it's a pseudo starter. So there's the trap, unfortunately, there's Diviner. There's Neptune, there's Hyperion, there's Majesty. This smells wild. We got Majesty Engrave, we add Diviner, normal Diviner, dump. We just don't want to mill Hanawada. Milling the trap is fine, but like milling Hanawada kind of turns off the Diviner. But like milling Hanawada without having to add Diviner is fine. I don't know, it's just some weird variance that can sometimes fuck you. So we're gonna go Trias, Tribute Diviner, trigger Diviner, summon Hanawada, wherever it is, it's right at the top. Make, what do I make here? Typically I make Barone. Yeah, I'll make Barone here because we have Majesty Engrave. And then this can make Hulk into Summon Earth. Yeah, and then this is where I missed having the Sanctuary in the Sky because I banish Neptune to summon Majesty, and now like I would definitely get Sanctuary in the Sky instead of Driver. So then this would add Sanctuary in the Sky. You'd make Master Flare, discard Sanctuary in the Sky. Well, I mean, I guess we did mill the traps, so I guess I can't do that. But I'd still have the Sanctuary in the Sky in hand. Master Flare is still a banish, so that's still good. And now I'm going to go banish Majesty and banish Majesty and Foxy Tune, summon Chaos Ruler. And now I have a draw. So I have 3 other cards in hand, Sanctuary in the Sky. This is gonna draw me a card. And then this is gonna make Cheng Ying with Chaos Ruler on the next turn. So banish, do this, and then synchro with Chaos Ruler for Cheng Ying. Sometimes though you can like, in this case though, maybe I'd make Cheng Ying first instead of Master Flare. You would have to leave Majesty on the field somehow to make this on their turn. Like one time I made Cheng Ying first and then triggered it off of Hulk by banishing, so that was cool. But yeah, the deck just gets way crazier with punk stuff. Lets you do so much without your normal summon and makes the deck way less fragile. Felt way stronger, felt way more in control of my games. So that's gonna do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. Peace.